The only real God is the one that you believe in. Start looking for the God in others. And if you find you're tuning into a wave, well then I don't know much about being saved.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, friends.
Welcome into another episode of Spiritual Philosophy Chatter with the Joneses. I'm Danny Jones.
And I am Samantha Jones.
And here we are with episode 84.
84.
Some more Philosophy Chatter. Episode 84. Wow.
Yeah.
Getting up there.
I know, huh?
What is the topic?
This is pet readings with Samantha.
These are always good.
Yes, I love these. These are my favorite.
Awesome. Well, before we hop into that, anything from last week that you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about a few things. First of all, we just had Thanksgiving, and so I wanted to wish everybody a happy belated Thanksgiving from the Joneses.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, hopefully everybody had a good one and stayed safe and healthy.
Yes.
Yeah. And now all the rest of the holidays are here, and so yeah, we just have to stay safe and get through these next couple of months, I think. And next year things will be hopefully back to what, somewhat a new normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else I wanted to talk about is with the holidays coming up, if you have gift needs, here's a couple gift ideas for you. Gift certificates for a reading from me. That's a great gift idea.
There you go.
Also, art from Danny's store, because he does art of mostly dead musicians. It's beautiful stuff. D. Jones Art Collection.
Thanks. Babe.
Yeah. So these are a couple of gift ideas that I wanted to throw out there
to
people the holidays.
That's great.
And something else exciting that I haven't even told you is that I got an email that we are now on Pandora. Yeah. Wow. I didn't even know that we weren't on there, I guess. I figured that was just one that Buzzsprout added us to. But,
okay, they add it and they notify you.
Yeah, so I got a notification. And recently, Amazon also started having podcasts, so that's another place that we are now, too.
Dang,
that
everywhere.
happened like a month or so ago, I believe. But yeah, Pandora's new. So if Pandora is your choice of where you would like to listen, now you can. You can listen there.
Very cool.
Yeah, isn't that?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well then, episode 84, Pet Readings with Samantha Jones.
So I had people put their reading requests in our discussion group. Anybody that had living pets, so this is living pets only. I asked specifically for ones where maybe they had a behavioral issue or a health issue or something that I can, because what I want to do is show people why I do this work and how I do it. Okay. Because a lot of times they don't realize that even like that small thing that they, they're like, I don't know why my dog does this or, whatever. This can help that. Sure. It can help people to fix those little problems or fix those big problems.
Right.
So that's my goal with this episode, is to just show a lot of the different types of readings that you can do within the animal communication.
Very cool.
I talked about this before, that this is my favorite thing to do. I'm very, very passionate about animals. My whole goal really with this show and with what I do, I love to help the people and the spirits. But my big goal is the animals, to help the animals to, in any way that I can, make their lives better.
Right.
That is really what I feel my main purpose is.
Right. And it's kind of cool because they don't really have a voice here,
That's exactly what it is, because a lot of people believe that because they can't talk, that means that they're not smart, or that they can't verbalize what they want in different ways.
Right.
But they do. They are very smart. We're learning now that they can even verbalize with buttons. I've showed you this, where they can use buttons.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. This is, if you haven't heard about this, you should look it up. It's a way to teach your animals how to talk by programming your voice in buttons, and they learn what each word means, just like a child, or it's like sign language for dogs. It's amazing. Cats too.
Yeah.
I've seen people, actually I saw a duck that could do it too. So it's not just limited to these. But
I've seen
anyways.
some funny videos of that where The people are just
Yeah.
like, why do they do this? Because the dog's over there going, outside?
Outside. Yeah.
Outside.
Totally. And they get mad sometimes too, especially the cats, like the food. So I started with Zuma on it and I was like, maybe this isn't a good idea because he's already needy enough.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool idea.
It is.
Yeah.
Just shows you. It's proof.
Yes. They are highly intelligent creatures. You know, all animals are different. All different. The species and the breeds, they're all different, but they can all communicate in their own way.
Yep.
So these, again, are all living pet readings today.
All right.
So let's start with Oliver. This is for Nancy. She says that, Oliver, how is he feeling physically? Any pain that I should be aware of? Is he afraid to jump off the bed or do stairs because of pain or because he can't see?
Can you tell us what Oliver is?
He looks like...
He's a dog.
Oh, he's a dog,
Okay.
yeah. I'm trying to figure out what breed he is, though. He looks... like not a Maltese, he's black, but yeah, he's cute. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk to Oliver. Okay, well, definitely there's something with the eyes. Immediately. Yeah, okay, so there's a few things going on. And I think you already know this. You just needed me to confirm this for you. You hit the nail right on the head. These are the two things that are going on. Is that his vision is going. Depth perception is almost non-existent at this point. So, like, trying to jump off of a bed, he's so worried about how far down is this, even though he's done it a million times. I mean, just kind of imagine if, you lose your depth perception all of a sudden and you're kind of, like, panicking. Mm-hmm. So you may also notice, like, what I'm seeing is him pacing at, like, the top of the bed, pacing back and forth and back and forth. That's because he's just too scared to jump off of there. Is there pain? I do feel pain in the back area, like where the tail meets the back and like it goes down the legs, but I don't think that is on like an everyday basis, but the jumping can set that off, absolutely. So that is another reason. It's just not, he doesn't want to jump at this point is what he's telling me. Now with the stairs, that's the depth perception. Because what I see with that is him like reaching out and trying to feel it, and that's hard because the stairs for dogs, they're a great invention, but when you have a blind dog or a dog that's almost blind, you have to kind of teach him, I guess, how to work with that.
Yeah.
Maybe get some treats and just put it under his nose, and then like pull it so that you're bringing him down the stairs. And then his nose will follow you, and that will help him to kind of understand a little bit more the stairs. Because it's like, even though he may have done that a million times, when his vision was better, it's different when the sight is bad, and so he kind of has to learn all over again. But once he relearns that this way, it'll be much easier. But anything that you have that he jumps on and off of, or the couch or whatever, it would be a good idea to have something there for him. If you want him to get up there when you're not around, well, if he does anyways, just to prevent injury, I would just do that. Just in case he does want to get up there. Because, yeah, the depth perception is not real great. So,
poor guy.
Yeah. Physical pain, other than that, I'm drawn to his nose. I don't think that's pain. I think he's also losing that sense. That's tough. When the eyes and the nose goes. His ears seem okay, though. So he has that. That's good. But
so is he older?
Yeah, I'm going to say he is older. She didn't say, but yeah, he's on the older side.
Okay.
For sure. Because I'm thinking that this vision is like a deterioration, like an age progression type thing.
Okay.
What is that? Cataracts, I think?
Yeah, with the eyes, probably.
Yeah, exactly. As you get older... My eye doctor said everybody gets it.
Right.
So it's just like progressive.
The type of dog, is he mid-size?
Smaller.
Mm-hmm. I guess depending
on what... Like a poodle, like a miniature poodle almost, but longer hair. I'm having a hard time thinking of what breed this is, but yeah, smaller dog. So jumping off of something that's high, when you're that size dog and you're older is hard enough, even if you have your vision.
Right.
Like I noticed with our lab even, I'm like, oh, soon he's going to need something. It takes him a minute to a little get up on the bed, So yeah, that would definitely be some good tips there, I hope, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Thank you, Oliver.
Thanks, Ollie.
This one is for Shannon. She said, "This is Gizmo. We adopted him this February. He's 16 years old, and he is just the sweetest. First of all, thank you for adopting an old dog. That gets me every time. That's just, most people will just walk right by, and these dogs just need a home to live out the rest of their life. So, anyways, not preaching. Okay, I am curious if he has dementia. He often wanders around, stares into space, and seems to try to tell us things, but we aren't always sure what he wants. I should probably mention this pic was taken yesterday after he had a skin tumor removed from his eyelid. You'll most likely pick up on that, so I thought I should mention." Okay. So let's talk to Gizmo.
Can I see him?
Yes. He's a Lhasa Apso, I believe. I'm not good with my smaller breeds. Like, I know the larger breeds I'm good with. But...
That looks similar to a Shih Tzu, kind of.
Yes, that could be. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In that same kind of... Yep. So, okay. Let's talk to Gizmo. Okay. There is confusion here, yes. Is it doggy dementia? No, I don't think it is. I know what you're talking about because I have seen this. Most of the time, those dogs become aggressive, and I don't feel that with this one. Although I did pick up something. I don't know how much you know about his previous life, Shannon, but I did pick up that he did bite somebody once upon a time. So if you know anything about that, about his previous life, it looks like it was a child, and I don't want to say the child deserved it because they didn't, but it was provoked. I can see that it was very much provoked. So he's showing me that, I believe, to say this is the only time that I've done something like that, and I'm not going to do that, is what I'm feeling from this.
Yeah.
The confusion, I believe, comes more from his age and what has happened to him. Why he is in a new situation at 16 years old. Because he didn't see his life going that way. What I'm feeling is there was some kind of shift for him. Either, I want to say that somebody died, it was somebody's dog and they died, or it was a divorce, but there was something that separated, that this dog could not be kept anymore, and nobody really told the dog what happened and why he was removed from his home so abruptly. He didn't understand. This is, we forget about this, is that they don't understand. And so, the animal goes to a shelter or wherever it ends up, and they're nervous and they're not themselves. And so a lot of times they need some time to decompress, and then you start to see the real animal come out, the real personality.
Yeah, because just because they don't have a voice doesn't mean they're blank thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
And feelings, they have them.
He has settled in nicely, I do feel. He's not showing me like that he's uncomfortable. He wanders around, I think mostly because he doesn't really know what to do with himself. It's not dementia. It's not that a lot of people too sometimes think that it's spirits. It's not spirits. He just doesn't know what to do with himself. It's like a nervous habit. And the staring off into space, I think we all do that. And forget that animals can still do that, even though that, they may not think on the level we do.
Right.
They can get themselves enthralled in things as well. I can see the behavior that you're talking about. So I understand. It does look weird. It looks like if you just stopped in the middle of the room and just stood there and looked around.
Right.
But it is an older dog. And, he's not showing me that there's anything necessarily wrong with him. He's just a little slow, just a little bit. I could see an older person even without dementia doing that, getting in a trance or whatever. But nothing that I would really be concerned about on that point. Seems like, actually, for 16 years old, he seems like a relatively healthy dog. I like the sweater. I think that that's perfect for him for the winter time. He likes that too. So you're doing a great job with him. And again, thank you for adopting an older dog and for the responsibility that you've taken on, because you've already had, like you said, the skin tumor removed and stuff like that. So thank you. Appreciate that. He does too. Okay.
Very nice.
Sometimes they get me. Earlier I brought my tissues in here and I said I may not need them because living animals don't always get me like the past ones do, but I lied. And I said that too. I'm like, yeah, but I'm making that up too. Okay. This is for Sherry. We talk about Sherry a lot.
All right.
Hi, Sherry.
Hello, Sherry.
This is Harley. I think I talked to Harley a long time ago, but I'm not really sure. Something that, if you guys don't know this, is that I don't really remember my readings. Sometimes I'll remember details about the animal or about the person, or like I'll recognize the picture and say, okay, I did this reading before, but usually things, I don't remember details. And I'm thankful for that, because can you imagine what kind of storage that would take up in my brain?
Oh, it would be a lot.
Yeah, because I do a lot of readings. So that, yeah. So I do remember that there was at some point that I read Harley, but I have no idea what it was for, what the dog is like. So it's like starting fresh for me, which I appreciate. Okay, so what is making him itchy? He's been seen by a vet and diagnosed with allergies, but would like to know what's causing it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is where I use my psychic ability. I don't use my animal communication as much, because the dog doesn't know necessarily what they're allergic to. They know maybe what, like they could say, well, I ate this and it made me not feel good. But like if you're using something, a product or something, they're not going to know that they're allergic to it. Mm-hmm. Just like you may not accept process of elimination. So that's where my psychic abilities come in. And what I see with this is a sprinkle. I'm not sure if it's a carpet freshener, a flea powder, it could be a laundry detergent, but there is something that's sprinkly like sand, or, something like that,
Powdery.
like a consistency like that, like a powder, that I'm picking up on as a major source. I don't think that's the only source, but I think that is a part of the problem. I'm also seeing baths, and so I'm not really sure if Harley is telling me that he needs baths, or there's something when you give him a bath. Hold on. Okay, this might be about the type of soap that you're using. So let's talk about that. After you listen to this, message me and let's talk about what kind of soap you're using when you bathe Harley, because that could also be an issue. Sometimes we get soaps that they're specially made for allergies, mm-hmm. but they're doing more damage.
Right.
One thing that I've learned is that one of the best soaps that you can use for allergies on dogs, believe it or not, is Dawn soap. I had a dog that was, we don't know if she was like bit by a black widow or a scorpion or something, but her face blew up. And so we took her to the vet, and they said that they gave her Benadryl and steroids and said, when you get home, give her a bath with Dawn soap. And it really did help. It calmed everything down. So I use that most of the time on our dogs, and it seems to have a great effect with their itching, at least for a few days. It's hard. You got to stay up on it, because if they go outside and they lay in the dirt, that it could be dirt. It could just straight be dirt that she's maybe laying in. That could be another one, actually, because our dogs do that. Zuma does that. He goes outside and lays in the little amount of dirt that we have, and then gets himself all itchy. So look into that too, if there's outside area that he's laying in. And like what I do is, when sometimes I don't do this all the time, obviously, but I'll wipe him down with baby wipes. I try and do that like maybe once every couple of days. I should do it more often, but that helps too if they are outside in the dirt. Okay. So that's what I think your main problems are with Harley. So message me and we'll talk about the shampoos and stuff.
Cool. Yay, Harley.
Yay, Harley. He's a cutie pie.
Let me
Did I
see.
show you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a very focused, working dog. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Harley likes to have a job. And Harley says that one of his jobs is chasing things like squirrels and other things invading his space. I get it. He's keeping his yard safe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's his job.
Yeah, he's cute. Okay. So let's go on to the next one. Ugh. Okay, this is for Juliet. She says, this is Bear. I would like to know if his recent neediness is how he's coping with us losing my dad a few months ago. And Bear is an Australian Shepherd. He's a cutie pie.
Very cool dog.
Yeah. He reminds me of this dog Apache that I used to walk every day.
Yeah, he does, kind of.
Yeah. Apache recently passed too.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Apache. Okay, so Bear. Okay. This is not so much about your dad as it is about you. This dog is very, 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 very in tune with you, with your needs. These are working dogs. And a lot of people don't realize that when they get an Australian Shepherd or a Border Collie or something, that these dogs are they're intense. They focus, and if they don't have something to focus their energy on, it can come out as anxiety. I've seen it come out as aggression. I don't think that's the problem with this dog at all. But with Apache, actually, he was aggressive. He was on Prozac because of his aggression, because he didn't have what he needed in his life, which was to be active a lot. And so for Bear, what you're seeing is anxiety. But it's not caused by the passing of your dad. I'm not saying that you're the problem, because I know Juliet. I've talked to her. I've done many readings for her, and she's a very upbeat and happy person. But when you get sad, he's definitely in tune with you. When you get anxious, he's in tune with you. When you start feeling that grief, he's not necessarily grieving for your dad, because he sees your dad. He's right there. He sees your dad. He knows that he's there. It was confusing for him at first of, okay, well, why is this different form?
Right.
But he understands now. And so you might see him staring off. Usually, like, what I'm seeing is him staring off behind you. Like, it looks like he's looking through you almost. So that's a good way to know if, your dad's around too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is more about your energy. And I think you spend a lot of time with this dog. But I think that if there's something that you could do to give him something different to do, not super familiar with these breeds, and like all breeds have things that you can do maybe differently to help stimulate their mind, because they like different things. I've been seeing these egg-shaped ball. It's like a ball, but it's more shaped like an egg, that especially herding dogs like to push around. Because that's what they try to do. They try to go for the ankles,
Right.
So these balls, it helps them to do that. They can push them around kind of like they would sheep or whatever they were going to herd.
Right.
So I'm seeing that for you, Juliet. And so message me.
Is that an Australian Shepherd?
Yes.
Okay.
So message me, and we will talk about that, because I think that would be a good thing for him. Something to take his mind off of whatever it is that he's focusing on, which is sometimes just that he's too intense on you. And something to wear him out. This will also wear him out emotionally and physically. So, I can't remember what they're called. I'm glad but I saw it the other day. I'm glad I did. But like I said, it's shaped like an egg, and they push it around. It's really cool. So, anyways, that is Bear.
Yeah, those are very active breeds.
They're
kind of
very,
like what Tim and Tara have. The
Corgis?
Yeah.
Yeah, they...
Even though they're not as short, but...
Yeah, they have this, they're bred for herding. And so a dog that's bred for that, that's what it wants to do. And they nip a lot at people's ankles. I had a Border Collie that I took care of for a while that chased me out of the house every time I left, because she didn't want me to leave. And the owner told me that she did it even with her, and they go for the ankles. So it's like, you got to get out the house before a dog gets your ankles.
Wow.
Yeah. But they're really, really intelligent, these working dogs, these herding dogs. But they really need something to do to focus their energy on. Yeah. And I think that that's a part of the issue with Bear is he just needs something different. He's just bored. He needs something else to do.
Right.
You know. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bear.
Thank you, Bear. Okay, who's next? This is a kitty. This is Sheba, and this is for Chris. And Chris says... Sheba, she loves to eat stuff that she's not supposed to, like broom bristles. Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah, that doesn't seem good. And she's been throwing up a lot more in the past few months. I've changed her diet to science diet for urinary issues. She has crystals. And it helped for a while, and now she's back at it. Okay. It's really funny, Chris, because, like, I don't read these before now. Because I don't want to know anything. I don't want my human brain to interact with this. I just want my psychic brain. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And if I read it beforehand, then my human brain interacts. So, but when I saw the picture of the cat, she's just like the perfect fit for you. This is like your cat in spirit, or your, you know what I mean? Your spirit animal here.
Right.
It's so funny. There's just this like pull, like, okay, if there was any cat that's meant for Chris, it's this cat. So maybe that'll make sense to you, but that was immediately what I thought.
That's cool.
But let's talk to Sheba and see what is going on there. I'm going to have a sit by my tree too. Or where they Okay. Okay. That's a very interesting answer to... I said, why bristles? And she said that it feels good. And I'm trying to figure out how broom bristles can feel good, especially when you're eating them.
Is she actually ingesting them?
That's what it sounds like.
Or just like the feeling of it in her mouth?
It says eat stuff that she's not supposed to. I'm not seeing these as being swallowed. Maybe they are, but I'm not seeing that. Okay. This might be with the gums, because I feel like it's like a stimulation thing, that there's something here that the reason that she eats stuff, I don't think that that's as much associated with the stomach as you may think it is. I think it's also associated with the teeth, the exercise of the jaw, the way it makes her teeth feel. That's interesting. She eats other things as well. I do feel that those things are also some form of like jaw exercise. It helps the teeth. It helps the jaw. But there's only certain things I think that she actually ingests, and I don't think it's much of it. Is what she's telling me. I don't think that her stomach issues are related to what she's eating for the most part. I think that she has a very sensitive stomach, which is another reason why she's eating things, because she's also looking for something to help her stomach. They like grass. Yeah. If you, I don't know if you live in an apartment or a house, if you don't have access to grass, or she doesn't go outside and have access, buy her some of that stuff. They have it at PetSmart. It's like grass, and it's just a little patch of grass in a container.
That's cool.
For cats to eat. It's nice. Cat grass, and it helps their stomach. It helps their digestion. Let's see. That I think will help. As far as you have a couple issues here, because you have the urinary issues, and with the urinary issues, there are very specific food requirements to help those crystals, and I'm not sure what those are. So I don't want to recommend any foods, but try to stay away from anything that might be rich or very oily. I'm feeling like if you can rub the oil on the food, like take it and put it in your fingers, and if it feels oily, then that's too rich for her. I'm feeling like wet food would be better. I don't know if you're doing wet or dry, but wet food would be helpful. That But the problem there then is we don't have the chewing with the teeth. So there's a whole, see how there's like a whole big like circle of things that you have to deal with here, and it's finding what the dietary solution is that's going to keep the urinary system, the teeth, and the stomach happy, and that is not an easy solution.
Right.
I want to brainstorm on this more, but please know that I have told Sheba that this eating of things is concerning, that you don't want her to ingest the wrong things, that ingesting the wrong thing could make her very, very, very sick.
Yeah.
We don't, like I just saw rubber bands. We don't want rubber bands eaten.
No.
Nothing like that. So, though that's where cats can be difficult too. Sometimes you got to keep things away from them. You know, it's like that extra step in keeping things clean and organized because they do get into stuff. But again, I'll brainstorm on this. But I've talked to her. Hopefully, you'll see a difference. There are a lot of times once they realize that this is not healthy for them, they stop. Other ways you might be able to help is, I don't know if they have like chew toys for cats, but maybe look into it. Greenies or something.
I think they do.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But
they put little catnip in them, and
yeah,
I think some of them have catnip in them, but they chew that, and that gets them frisky.
Frisky, yeah. This cat seems frisky to me as
She's cute.
She is cute. She's very
personality.
Has a lot of personality.
I could see it in that. It looked like she was posing in the picture.
A lot of personality. Yeah.
By the way, sorry for the heavy breathing. It's not me falling asleep at the bike. We have snoring dogs laying right here.
I totally didn't even notice because I was so in tune with this.
Sounds like Darth Vader behind
you. Because he was right next to me, so it's like, sue me. He just got a new bed that he loves very much, by the way. If anybody has a dog that gets cold easily or has anxiety issues, they make these cuddler beds, and they're round and soft, and both of the dogs absolutely love this bed. He can put his nose inside of it to keep it warm, so highly recommend that. So, okay, was I finished with Chris? I think so, right? So, so another one. If I don't reach out to you guys, please reach out to me. The ones that I said, let's talk after, which I think so far has been everybody. Reach out to me, because I forget sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Next. This is a dachshund. I had dachshunds growing up. They're so cute. They have a lot of personality. This one's feisty. Okay. This is for Kate. The dog's name is Brom, I believe. B-R-O-M. Brom. Brom Bones is his full name. He's a rescue that we have had for a year and a half. Over a year and a half. We have a regimented schedule, but Brom still messes in the house if we are gone. So we have him in a crate while we are at work, which breaks our heart. It's like he's an impulsive toddler and does things on impulse. Is there anything we can do? All right, let's talk to him. He's
the
so
whole
cute.
Potty training issue.
He's so cute. Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
I love they turn their feet out.
Yeah.
He's like, turns his feet out. It's so cute. All right, let's see. He's a happy dog. He's much happier with you than he was where he was before. He gets much more attention. I feel like with you, he's not just a dog. He's a child. And where he was before, he was treated like a dog. And now he's not.
He's spoiled, it sounds like.
Yep. And he loves it. He hates his collar. I'd have to point out these things that they give me so people know he hates his collar. He hates the sound that it makes. He hates the way it feels on his neck. He hates it. If there's a way to maybe make it lighter, I can see that there... Okay, part of the problem is he has very sensitive ears. And these two tags are clanking together. We had this problem.
You just get the little rubber...
Yes, exactly. This is another case of, if you can't find it, message me and I'll help you. But they make them in the shape of, like, she has a tag that's a bone and a tag that's a bell, and they do make them in those shapes. And what it is it's like it goes along the outside.
It's clear almost.
Yeah, like a clear plastic, but it makes it so that they don't bang together.
Yeah.
I think Sequoia had that on hers, and it helped so much because they can't stand the sound. And I know some people like it because it tells them where the dog is or where the cat is. I hear this from cats a lot. They hate bells because they can't get away from it.
No.
For you, the cat might be on the other side of the house, and you're like, oh, where's the kitty? And you hear jinka, jinka, jinka. From the other side of the house, that cat's hearing it in its ears all the time.
Yeah, it's not cool.
No. We did that. We put it on our cats for a little while, bells.
Right.
And we had to take them off because one of the cats was just like, I'm not even moving because I hate it so much, you know?
Yeah.
So I would suggest that. I know that doesn't answer your question, but that is the first thing that I got from him, and I felt that was important to pass along. So let's answer your question now about the peeing. He says, I do not have a problem. No, you do, though. Okay. My suggestion... I'm not going to be able to fix this problem through this reading. And I'll tell you why. Because this is a long-term problem that he doesn't recognize. It's like having a child that has a problem that won't accept the problem. And so you have to get him some kind of help to solve the problem. If you can't get him help to solve the problem, you have to find alternative ways to solve the problem. And one of these that I'm seeing is piddle pads, wee-wee pads, indoor grass pads. Something that will make it easier for him because somehow he's not connecting that
that's an outdoor activity. Right.
That what's he supposed to do when you're not around, because you're the one that lets him out. So if you're not around and he can't let himself out, then he's just going to let it go. And these smaller dogs, you see these a lot. They're really, really hard to potty train a lot of the times. So
yeah, it kind of sounds like, I mean, I kind of get his point when he's saying I don't have a problem. I think they have a problem.
Yeah, I get it too. Yeah, for sure. So your problem could be solved probably with a trainer. I mean, I'm not a dog trainer, but I can tell you that me even talking to this dog every day and telling him not to do it probably wouldn't change the behavior. That's just not, he's just not going to listen to me. Or to you.
But the training would make him understand.
Yeah. The dog trainers, they work with the dog and with the owner to fix the problem. How they would do that with this dog, I'm not really sure because that's not my area.
Right.
But that is a possibility. Like I said, the other possibility is just doing something so that, you know, like the piddle pads or the patch of grass, these types of things so that he can relieve himself when you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is the only issue. I think that there's other things that he does that might be considered minorly destructive. And that I will tell him to stop it. Stop eating things or whatever it is he's doing. I see scratching. Oh, he might be scratching at the crate to get out. But I also see him scratching at carpet. The scratching at the crate to get out is just because he doesn't want to be in there. So hopefully, what I'm telling him is if we can find a solution to this problem, you don't have to be in the crate all the time when they're gone. And then, you know, you have a better quality of life. So maybe we can find a solution to this problem that's kind of a compromise. The piddle pads maybe are the compromise. So anyways, that's what he has to tell me and my suggestions.
Maybe even he could just be confined to a certain area while they were gone, like via baby gate. With those pads in that area.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Even just starting him off like that, like if you have an area that has linoleum or in a bathroom even.
Kitchen.
Anything like that, that would be possible too, just baby steps. But I think he's going to understand more now why he's in the crate, because he didn't really before, because like he said, he doesn't see this as a problem. So now he understands a little bit more, oh, this is why I'm in the crate. So hopefully you will see some things there, but the potty training is, unfortunately, I don't know that he's ever going to 100% get it. Maybe with a trainer, but another solution's better. So, yeah, okay. Great.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, how much time we got left?
About 20 minutes.
Okay, good. All right, so the next one is a duck.
All right.
I love ducks. I get to talk to him every once in a while, but I've always wanted a duck. And this duck is white, and I've always wanted a white duck for some reason, so we'll have a white duck one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so this is from Patricia. She says, "This is my pride and joy, white duck, and she is now 12 years, 3 months old, double the age of most ducks. I want to make sure she has a good quality of life, and if there is anything different she wants, like certain foods or a bigger pool." Okay, let's talk to white duck. This duck has an attitude. It's adorable, but he's got an attitude. He's like, now she asks me? At 12 years old, now she asks me if there's anything she can do for me? It's not a put down, it's just him showing his personality. And that's just so cute. That's too cute. So I explained to him, well, yeah, because maybe she didn't know an animal communicator 12 years ago or even a year ago, you know. He likes quiet. That is his biggest request, is that for whatever... Everybody shut up. Yeah. Oh, me at his age in human years.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, let's see. So, he likes the quiet. It's not that it's loud. It's just that when it is loud, it annoys him. And so that's the first thing he pointed out.
Kids?
I don't think it's kids. I think it's just commotion. Stuff, you know, environmental around him. Nothing that can really be controlled, like gardener type stuff, you know. I mean, just the normal, you have to go about your life, white duck.
Yeah, you're living in the burbs, man. There's no way of getting around that.
I don't think that this duck lives in the burbs, but I think that where he does live, there's still things that have to go on, and he's like,
right.
No.
That airplane still has to fly overhead. Sorry.
He is so cute. He's got such an attitude. He keeps showing me ducking his head in the water, like in his little pool, ducking his head and sticking his butt up in the air and wagging his tail. I love it when ducks do that, so he's probably doing that. See, he's cute. He likes a food that he's not supposed to have. Something that belongs to another animal that you have. I want to say it's hay. Ducks shouldn't eat hay, right? I don't know.
I don't know what
something. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. But there is a food that he's like, can I have this? And like, no, you can't have that because that's not duck food, and you know that. So if I can't have that, then I'm fine with what I already have. He's funny. Wow, that's quite a personality for a duck.
Yeah.
This is where I wish, like, I could project onto a screen, like, what I'm seeing and feeling. Because you never really will understand why this is so funny to me and how his personality is if you're not in my head or talking to him yourself. But he definitely has a big personality for such a little creature.
They're very interesting. They come off to me as having a lot of personality.
I see him standing up, like, with his wings out, too. Like, this is my pool. Protecting his territory. He definitely likes to protect his territory. He has a great quality of life. I don't think that there's anything that he's missing. I don't necessarily think he needs a bigger pool. It's not... He doesn't really know that he could have a bigger pool. I mean, he does now because I asked him. But it wasn't something that he needed. If you want to get him a bigger one, he's not going to turn it down. But... he doesn't necessarily need it. Snores B over here.
Hey, we're working over here, man.
It's the perfect episode, though.
He's like union break.
Yeah, he is. He's just not. He's relentless.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is what we deal with every night.
Yes, it is. That's a Great Dane for you. Okay, so let's see. What else can I tell you about white duck? He understands how old he is and that he has lived a lot longer than what he was expected to live. And for him, it's not, it's almost a challenge. So, like, if you have a dog and you're always telling the dog, wow, this is an old dog, you know, or they're supposed to do this, a lot of the times those dogs will take that in subconsciously. Instead, like what this duck is doing is like, I'm not that old. I'm going to show you that I'm not that old. I'm not going to be the old duck. It's very interesting. He's got a very interesting personality.
Determination. Very
determined. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lives quite a bit longer. I don't sense any serious health issues. There's something inside I feel that might be a little swollen or enlarged, but could be the liver. I don't know duck's anatomy real well, but nothing that is of concern at this point, I don't think.
He's like, if y'all just could keep it down, I'll live a lot longer.
No raging parties? No, I know that she's not having raging parties. You know, I've done readings for Patricia, and we talk every once in a while, and I know she has a lot of animals, so I assume that this is kind of like a farm or like, you know, small type.
Got it.
She has horses and stuff. So he does have a lot of other animals around him, and you know, sometimes the horses make noise, and you know, dogs make noise. And,
well, yeah, you're not living in the burbs; you're living on a farm,
right? Exactly.
Sounds like you're the spoiled one,
right? Exactly. He's kind of a loner. He's the introvert. I think that he relates to Patricia a lot. So he's very, very. I want to say sweet duck, and he's like, no, he is sweet. He's just sweet in his own way.
Yeah.
I see him charging a fence line. Maybe it's opening the door. Ducks do this thing where they put their bill down. Have you ever seen it? And they run, they charge with their... That's what I see him doing. Is this charging to the door. Like, get out of here.
So he's got a job. He likes his job.
Uh-huh. Oh, he's funny. Funny. Okay.
He wants to be known as the protector, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And he's very introverted. I think that's part of it too. It's like, no, go away. This is mine. Awesome. But oh my gosh, what a personality! Thank you for letting me talk to him. This is why I like to talk to different kinds of animals, because they have such a different outlook, personality. Right. You know. So okay, let's see. What else do I have? I have one more, and this one is from Chelsea Tate Mandler, because we have a couple of Chelseas, so I just tell you it's that one.
Cool.
I already kind of did this on the page just because I wasn't really sure where this was going to go, and I didn't want her to have to wait until Sunday. I still don't want her to have to wait till Sunday, so I did this on the page, but I want to talk about it here.
All right.
She said, we're considering putting Puff down tomorrow. He has trouble walking, moans, cannot poop without pain, and literally starving to death. I am sad. He's 16 years old.
What is he?
He's a kitty cat.
Kitty cat. Oh, cute. Chills.
Yeah. So I wanted you to know before this aired, which is why I told you, Chelsea, that he is ready. I have a feeling this has already happened. He's already been put down, I believe. Or they're in the process, like, getting ready to, because his spirit feels like that to me. There's, like, this place that they go to, like, we've talked about when like somebody's gonna die, like in a car accident or something, and there's that split moment of removing yourself from your body, removing your soul from your body before the impact, before the pain. And that kind of starts this feeling for me. I'm gonna say it starts around there, where the animal or the person realizes that they're dying, they've accepted it, and they've left their body already. Doesn't necessarily have to be right before. It can be hours before. It can be days before. I believe they could even come and go. Like when you have somebody like an elderly person that's getting ready to pass, I think they come and go.
Right.
So with this cat, I feel like we are in that transition period already. Whether he's, already passed, we're in this area. So it kind of turns into, a past pet reading. But I just want to check in with him and see how he's feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's already passed because he feels better. His soul feels better to me. Last night when I talked to him, he was showing me the moaning. He was showing me the excruciating pain, and I don't feel that right now. I don't feel like that's the same cat that I talked to last night. So we're in this process, I believe. He had a lot of issues. So the fact that he lived 16 years is really impressive.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it really is. Like, cats, I think, the oldest that I hear very rarely is 20. So when you have a cat that's 16, you're getting up there for sure. For sure. Absolutely ready to pass. That's not even a doubt in my mind. He's showing me playing with friends and chasing butterflies. So I am definitely voting on the fact that he's already passed. So I'm very sorry for your loss, Chelsea.
Yeah, that sucks.
But you made the right decision. You definitely made the right decision because, So
they're like our babies. It's hard to let go, but
absolutely,
they have a way different understanding and connection through their whole life about what the other side is. So they don't fear it out of question.
They don't. They're here for a different reason than we are. I haven't completely figured it out yet, but a lot of the reason is to teach us lessons. So there's just a cycle here. You know what I mean? And we hate to face this cycle, and it sucks that it's shorter with animals. We have a Great Dane, and one of the things that people ask us, and especially before we got one, was, but they don't live very long. How are you going to deal with that if he doesn't live long?
Right.
Well, dogs, cats, none of them really live as long as we would like them to.
Or as us, so.
Right. There's reasons for that, important reasons for that. But whether that time that we have with them is 2 years or 20 years, it's enough for them to leave the impression that they're supposed to leave on us. It's hard for us to remember that. I had a dog that died at 6 years old, and it was traumatizing because that was way too young for me.
Yeah.
My first ferret that I ever had, they don't live long at all, ferrets. She died at 3 years old from cancer. There's things that I learned from all of them, whether they lived 3 years or like my oldest that was, how old was Sequoia? Like almost 12 when she died.
Right.
We learn them. We learn something from all of them,
right.
and their souls come back to us. So when it's time for them to go, as hard as it is the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
And that's why, people say too, oh, it's so hard to lose an animal, so I don't even want to have that kind of pain in my life, so I don't get one. And I understand that because I've been in that level of pain before. Yeah. But with everything that they give to us in the time that they're here and everything invaluable. That they teach us, it is. So,
but it's true. I think you made a great point, is that they are here for a reason. And there's a reason that they're domesticated with us. It's not like, elephants and these other animals that also, have souls and very strong energy.
Yeah.
But there's a reason that they're out there in the wild doing their thing, or they should be. And these are meant to be domesticated with us because of what we actually can learn.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you can learn a lot. You can learn unconditional love from an animal.
But about yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You learn a lot about yourself by caring for someone else.
Absolutely.
Or something else.
That's why they do that, like prisoners, what do they call that? Where they take the dogs to the jails and the prisoners train them? Mm-hmm. Prisoners on parole. There's a show with the pit bulls that they do this. They take the pit bulls to the prison.
Oh, pit bulls and parolees.
Yeah, there you go. But it teaches, I think, the people that have hardened lives, when you have an animal that's compassionate to you no matter what you're going through, it teaches you a different level of compassion. So this is a great program, I think, for anybody, because they teach us so much. Yeah. We don't even realize it.
Yep.
So what we have to do for them is give them the life that they're supposed to have. And sometimes we can't do that. And so I like to remind people, I don't know why I always have this feeling to remind people on when we do these animal shows. If you can't take care of the animal properly, find somebody that can, because that could be a part of your lesson.
Right.
I have had to give animals away. I had birds that I had to give away. Sometimes your life situation just doesn't fit with certain things,
right.
and that's okay.
Right.
And people are shamed for that, but there's always the situation that has those exceptions to everything, that this is better for the animal. And if it's better for the animal, then it doesn't matter what people think. You gotta, Yeah. So, yeah, don't feel guilt with that. That's always pointed out to me. Have you noticed that? Every animal episode, I'm told to remind people that they can rehome. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's
make that effort at least first,
yeah.
before you have to put them in a shelter. But if you can make that effort, I think outside of these animals coming here, in their energy and animal form, to teach us these lessons and to work with us and help us, and they're helping themselves too. But they come in this life at such a greater disadvantage than we do as humans, because they don't have the ability to voice
right.
all these things like we talked about today.
Right.
So they're taking a huge gamble, a huge roll of the dice when they say, okay, I'm going to go into a body, and live a life as an animal.
Right.
They take way more of a gamble coming into this world, not knowing what their situation is going to be.
Yeah.
Only hoping they find a home with people that love them and care for them.
Yep. Well, something to remember too, is that sometimes people have something that they've asked for, okay? So let me explain this. I want a Great Dane, another Great Dane. I want a female, but I don't want a puppy. In order for me to not have a puppy, somebody else has to raise that dog. Mm-hmm. Somebody else has to have a situation where they say, we can't keep this dog anymore.
Yeah.
For that dog to come to me. I look at the bird that I gave away as that too, that they didn't want a young bird or whatever their situation was. This was the perfect bird for them. This is the way that things work. So when we say, adopt, don't shop, this is another reason why they say that, because that dog that you're looking for, or cat or bird or whatever it is, could be at the shelter waiting for you. Because a lot of times maybe that's what not necessarily what we want, but what we need. Right. Maybe we don't need a puppy or a kitten right now. Maybe we need an older animal, or but we don't always want to listen to what our needs are. We think, oh, a puppy's so cute. But I can tell you after Zuma, I don't really want another puppy again. There's so much work.
Yeah. He was a lot.
So everybody has their own needs. And in order for my need to be fulfilled for the animal that I'm looking for, somebody else has to let that animal go so that she can come into my life.
Yeah.
So these are different ways to look at things. Because it's not black and white. It's not, animals are not, I don't know. Their lives. We have to treat them as such. We have to give them the opportunity. If we can't properly take care of them, we should find somebody else that can. Right. If we want to, have an animal in our lives, then we have to take care of it properly. Right. The best food we can afford.
I think the biggest misconception is that these animals are standing there with no thoughts and no feelings, and they're here to serve us.
Right.
No. I think we need to reevaluate that, if that is the stigma. Because I think there was a point in my life where I kind of viewed them as that, I
think a lot of people do.
And then all of a sudden, when you really realize, when you can communicate with one, and you can read them, and you can feel them, it's different.
Right.
Then you realize, no, they're just as much, alive and well and intuitive and thinking as much as I am and you are.
Yep.
They just can't express it through their voice.
And they go through the same kind of life stages that we go through, except they go through it a lot faster. It drives me crazy when people get a puppy and they just expect the puppy to know what to do and how to act. it's not going to work like that. Just like an infant can't take care of itself, it can't change its own diaper. You need to train this dog to go outside to use the bathroom. Cats are instinctively better at that kind of thing, luckily. They're pretty good about knowing how to use a litter box. But dogs don't understand using a dog door or asking to go out. They have to be trained to do this. They don't understand that destroying something is, that's not playtime. You're not supposed to destroy that bed. They have to be taught all of these things just like humans. And as they get older, their emotional needs change and they become smarter and they can communicate better with us through their signals or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like us, they have the life stages and they deserve to be respected as a living being, not just as something that's put here to give us attention or to work for us. Because you know what, a lot of these dogs, especially dogs, they want to work. They maybe are here partially to work, but they still need the other things. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be thrown outside and forgotten about in somebody's backyard. They still want the companionship and the attention. And those are the things that we should give them.
Yep, I agree.
So, there we go.
Good job. Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks to all our pet friends for chiming in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
and
for
the listeners
everybody
for posting.
Yeah, for letting me read your animals for you. And I'm very passionate about it. And so, as you can tell, sometimes I get deep into it. But anybody that I said message me or whatever, please do so that I can give you the information that I said I was going to give you. And I also hope that by listening to this show, that people that may have similar issues can kind of take some things. If you have a dog that's peeing in the house, maybe take that from the one of trying something different, like the piddle pads or the indoor grass patches or something. So I'm hoping that other people will get stuff from these readings too, and that you'll also see how I do my readings and how I might be able to help you, because that is what I'm here for.
Cool.
Yay.
Well, very good. Well, on that note then, before we say goodbye, would you like to share how people can get in touch with you?
Yes. So my website is SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. You can email me from there and find out all my information. Or you can also, if you want to email the show or me directly, you can get us at spiritualjoneses@gmail.com.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
All right. And for me, for my art, djonesartcollection.com for the web. At D Jones Art Collection for Facebook and Instagram, and for the music, gypsybrown.com for the web, and at Gypsy Brown Music for Instagram, and at Gypsy Brown Band for Facebook.
Yay.
Yay, yay. Tomorrow we start recording some more drums.
Yeah.
So finish this round.
Moving along.
Yep. That's all I got.
Yep. Well, yay.
Well, we hope everybody got something out of this.
That we
Sorry
do.
about the snoring beasts in the background.
Yeah, this show was from all of us today because these two were involved as well with their snoring. So
absolutely.
Sorry.
But I got something out of it.
Yeah.
That was
good.
cool. I always like to listen to you do that.
Good.
Well, we hope everybody has a great week. Until next week, peace and love.